I think I was making my board as wide as possible, so great.
And you're gonna want mid cuts.
Yeah, mid cuts all day.
Okay.
Yourself, what did you want?
All right, you're good.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll keep my opening hand.
Okay. Have a look. I just want to look again. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll keep.
Okay. So I got best credits can buy, threat for serving the deaths, and bureaucracy.
It's there again. I've got on the run, alight, delete, and draw their fire.
Okay. So level 1. I'll discard Geo Training, draw. Let's go money, money, sim, commit, pass turn to you.
Okay, very good. Okay, discard a Dagobah. I'll draw one. Okay. One monster for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Actually, did I do that the other way? Hidden Outpost first.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've done it wrong again. R4E1 because it's limited as well.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, that way. That's better. One monster for 3. Do it. 1, 2. Yeah, do it that way. Okay. Yeah, I'll commit both. Take force over to you.
Okay. I'll look to refresh. Keep hand, draw 3. It's money. Let me look at your hand.
Hidden Outpost, Rogue Squadron, Tricks and Nonsense target.
Okay. Insane. Go to conflict, go to force, commit, take force, pass turn to you.
Okay. Keep draw 2. Do another. So you got 3 in hand?
Yeah, plus the 3.
Let's move that over. Hidden Outpost for 1. 6. Rogue Squadron for 4 using the discount.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue 6 for 2. 2. Advance to conflict. You got 3 in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These 2 against Imperial Bureaucracy. Actually, let me just think about that. You've really got 6 in hand, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go against bureaucracy with these two.
Okay. Everybody blocks.
Okay. Edge battle. You've got no edge, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Edge one.
One.
2.
Let's say 2.
Pass.
How many cards do you have behind?
I got 1.
Okay. I'll go along with 3. Well, I guess I solve those, but
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass.
okay. I got 8.
I've got a twist and a tricks.
Yeesh.
I'll pay 1 to bring the tricks back to hand.
Is it any resource, or does it have to be specifically yellow?
No, it is just 1.
Okay. Oof, yeah, that felt terrible.
Yeah.
We only had 1 mystery card.
Yeah, sorry, it's. I'll tell you afterwards. Don't worry. 1 again.
1,
2.
2,
Pass.
3. Okay. I got 5.
I've got 4. I will trigger on the run. 2.
Jesus Christ. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Sorry, do you know? Can I just talk to you about that? Because I mean, I love your edge battles. I had 3 fake cards, and I thought if I didn't attack, I'm just sitting there on these 3. I've got a twist. I've got on the run. I've got tricks. I've just either got to go for it, or I'm going to end up sitting with lots of resources, and I've either got to throw cards, which I'll still have only 4.
No, I mean, like sometimes you just have it, right? Like
Yeah.
there's not much you can do.
Yep.
I guess I could have, if I felt you had the twist,
Hmm.
I could have pitched a little differently, right? So
Yep.
like I could have gone Virago Heat Senate guard to have 6
Mhm.
on the 2,
Yep.
and then that would give me 7 on a potential twist.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if that happens, that happens. Okay, so do your
So target goes off. Uh,
yep.
okay. Focus to strike. So focus Rogue Squadron. 2 guns in Slim.
Yep.
And tactics on Sane.
Okay.
And then two more bombs.
Sure. Put a gun into, I think, Rogue 6.
Yep. And then 1 more gun and 1 more bomb.
Where's your gun going?
I guess I'll get rid of the officer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've got no one on the force now, so you keep force over to you.
Okay.
Down to 4. What has always been your thoughts on almost all or nothing turn 2s?
I mean, it's fine if they work, they work. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so play these 2.
Okay.
Uh, go to conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've got no resources, no cards.
yeah. I'll send the officer at middle objective.
Okay. Nothing.
Okay.
Swap.
Overlock my Mothma
Okay.
and turn to you.
Okay. That's it. Yeah. Very good. So dial on 4. Draw full hand of 6. Oh, sorry. I keep doing it in the wrong order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. How many cards you got in hand?
4.
Okay. Going to put a kill marker on this and then draw off Rogue Squadron.
Yep. Boshek for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Rogue 9 for 2 because I'm on monsters discount. Okay, end deployment, advance to conflict. 2. You've got 3 money, yeah? Mm-hmm.
And you can focus or put the dragon snake in at any time, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These 3 against best credits can buy.
Um, Headhunter blocks shield itself.
Okay. I'm passing on edge 4, 1 from this one and 3 from Boshek.
Put 1 in.
Pass.
Okay. 2 in.
1.
Pass is good. Are you gonna Put another one in.
I'm just thinking what I'm doing. You're holding two back, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, got a twist.
Okay, I've got a tricks. Just deciding if I want to. So you've got two back after that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, I'm not going to pay to take it back.
Yeah.
Okay, next edge battle. I'll pass on edge 4.
1,
Pass.
2.
That's your last card, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, play 1.
That's
Pass.
got 4.
I got 4 plus 2, so I got 6.
Okay. Where's your tactics going? Is the only
Yeah,
thing that
I'm just thinking really. Just whether. Oh, you've played all your cards, haven't you? So you've got no. You've played all your cards, haven't you, Daniel? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a dragon snake. Yeah. Okay. Well, then there's nothing to think about then. Um, okay. I'll put it on Sane then, and 2 guns into the headhunter.
I'll get 1 into Rogue Squadron, I guess.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Yeah. Next engagement, I'll just go against the middle.
Okay.
1 and 1 unopposed.
Sure. Now 6.
Yeah. 472.
Okay, bureaucracy.
It's back. Hey, hold.
Oh boy. Okay. Sate. Let's get back intelligence officer. Let's see your 2 cards.
Oh, sorry. X-wing Jensen.
Lovely. Oh,
Can tell you beat it.
authentic card.
Can you read me his reaction again?
If I play an event, I get a shield.
Okay. On anything Sith?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send the 2 intelligence officers, 1 at each red objective. Put
Okay.
2 focus on Boshek.
All right. So that's just 1 each, yeah?
Yeah.
1 damage on each, yeah, that's right.
And then over here, let's say this pass turn over to you.
Okay. You got 3 in hand, yeah?
4. The safe picked up a card.
Okay. So you played. How many cards did you play?
These 3. This is from the grave.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the other one was already on the board. That just wasn't in the last engagement. Yeah, no problem. I'm just imagining things. On the force, how many?
3.
Okay. Keep draw 4. Play an X-wing for 1. Play another X-wing for 1. Play Dagobah for 1. Play Wes Jansen on the Rogue Squadron. Draw 1. Should have done that first. Just thinking. So you've got 7 cards.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot I had the 3. Yes, I got 4 in hand.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm going to advance to conflict, advance to force, take force over to you.
Discard hunger, draw. Um, go to conflict, go to force. Throw commit here. Throw commit here. Here you go.
Take force. Okay. All right. Discard Cloud City Casino, and let's do it in order. Fresh. Draw 4. In the draw phase, I'm playing Rebel for Hire for free to go and get something from a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Pick Kyle.
Yep.
Cuts.
Now you're good.
Okay. I'll play Kyle for 3 because of the discount. 3. It's even better. Playing Alliance X-Wing for 2. Okay, advance to conflict. Go against the middle. Yeah, I think everyone except for, I'll just put them separate, these 3.
Okay. You ready?
Sorry, you're blocking?
Yeah, everybody blocks.
Oh, everybody blocks. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm on edge 4 again.
Mm-hmm. So, say 1 in,
Pass
2,
2.
3.
You played your only twist jam.
Mm-hmm.
2.
4.
3.
5.
I'll hold this one back.
6.
Pass.
Let me count out my picture real
Yeah,
quick.
please do. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How much money do you have open?
I got 1, 2, 3. If you count my monster, I guess 6.
Yeah, I'm probably dead. Okay, let's show. So I got this covers your edge. So I have a functional 6.
I've got 8.
Okay, yeah, that's game.
Yeah, all got decided early on, didn't it? And once Boshek hit the board,
Yeah, that was. No, just losing that edge battle was pretty awful.
it was pretty. Yeah, on the run has been such a good thing for me this tournament. You know, it's once R4 E1 hits the board, to be able to keep bringing it back to hand is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, congrats, man. You got to choose the next pool.
Actually, yeah, Daniel, I wanted your thoughts. I didn't want to talk about it, obviously when I'm nowhere near winning. I wanted to go back to all in, except with how we've been having it so that you have pods, which are the only ones you play. I wanted it the reverse way, so all in, but if you wanted to play Yoda, you had to play mono. So you had to play 3 Jedi, Jedi affiliation only. If you wanted to play the Emperor, you had to play 3 Sith. You know, the same thing. So the pods would be the reverse way. So we play everything but all the best pods, Emperor, Vader, and whatever else you really thought. You had to play mono.
I mean, I think the biggest problem with that is that Darkseid in particular already plays mono with most of their decks.
Uh-huh.
So, like, for example, you think about Vader. Vader's decks are mono or like mono -1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, those decks don't really care. Same thing, like, if you said, hey, Tarkin has to be mono, it's like, well, Tarkin's mono anyways.
Yes.
Same thing with Ezor. So, you're really just restricting, like, Yoda.
Okay. And I was thinking of bringing back the affiliation. So if people wanted to go with the new affiliation cards without the mono, then they could just play any of the 7 reserve, any of the others, but just not with Yoda. So
I mean, the pool I was going to bank is.
go on, please. Yeah, go on. I'm interested.
It was, well, so I have the card that I've been pushing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Is actually pretty similar to what Josh did with his format.
Go on.
Which, so it'd be an alternate affiliation where the resource value in the affiliation is X, where
Mm-hmm.
X is equal to the Death Star, but it caps at 3.
Uh-huh.
And the rule with it is that all resource cards in your deck, right, like your main deck,
Mm-hmm.
their resource value is locked as 0. So, if you wanted to play like a Dagobah Training Grounds, you could, but it would just be a naked enhance and it wouldn't do anything. Or if you wanted to play Echo Caverns,
Uh-huh.
you can play Echo Caverns, but it would just be a 2 cost enhancement. It doesn't give you resource value.
Okay. And when you look at it, you think you could make that work with enough resources?
Well, I mean, the idea would be that it is your resources, right? So you have your 3 objectives.
Yeah.
So there's three resources there.
Okay, so let me get this right. So really you're saying nobody can draw well and always get extra resources. You've always got the same amount of resources each.
Well, the idea would be you always start off with 4 because the dial
Yep.
starts off with 1, right?
Hmm.
And then by turn 3, you'll have 6. Maybe you
Yes.
get 6 earlier, right? If you're dark side and you hold the force,
Yep.
or if you're light side and you let them hold the force.
Okay. So are you counting the affiliation as well or not?
No, I mean like this is an alternate affiliation.
Yes.
So
Oh, I see. I understand. Yeah, I
so
understand.
some decks could run it, some decks wouldn't, right? Like I think decks that are tight on money would run it, but
Yep.
decks that, like for example, Navy would not run it. There's no point, right? They make more money than 6. So
Yes,
like
that's true.
if you limit them to 6 resources, then their mid game turns where they have like $9 are just gone.
Hmm.
Also, if you play this affiliation, the Chimera resource doesn't do anything, right? It's a 0 cost enhancer that hits the board and does nothing.
Okay. Yes.
So like Navy would never think of playing this card
Hmm.
because they just have too much money. But on the other hand, I think like Sith would think about it because Sith with Vader and Palp, they're really expensive, and there's like a lot of interesting Sith pods that don't have resources that you can't play because you have a bunch of resources for Vader and Palp.
Hmm.
If you know you're gonna eventually have the 6 money for Palp, you're still probably playing Vader and Palp and just accept that they each have a dead card. But then your other 6 pods become a lot more interesting. You know that's the idea behind it. And it's like also like you think about Force Hunters. Force Hunters would consider playing the resource affiliation
Hmm.
till you say you have to lose the refresh affiliation, and they're not giving up refreshing the what's it called?
Spiders.
Yeah, refreshing spiders. You don't want to give that up, and
Mm.
also refreshing the Bane chuds. You don't want to give that up. Having Bane himself no longer be pseudo elite. They don't want to give that up, right? So like, Force Hunters would not give up the refresh.
Hmm.
So that's like 3 of the most relevant dark side decks. I just wouldn't run the alternate affiliation at all.
Mm.
But
So
I think there's some more rogue dark side decks that would, right? Like I think like Mission Pal would think about it because that deck struggles with resources.
mhm.
I think on the light side there's a bunch of decks that would play it. Um, I think Spark becomes an interesting discussion with it because on the one hand, a lot of Spark decks, like a lot of Spark pods, don't have a resource.
Yeah, my Ewok deck. I ran an Ewok deck which had, like you said, the mixed affiliation, but it struggled for resources and it sort of lived on Feast of Honor. So that would definitely benefit from your card.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the downside for Spark would be that Kanan would become terrible
Yeah,
because you wouldn't be able to play him for $2. You had to
you're
play him.
right. Yeah, whenever I played the Ewoks, Kaden was always. Sorry, Daniel, while you're talking, I'm very happy for you to make the. You've talked and thought about Star Wars more than I ever will, and I've so much enjoyed. I wanted to say personally, I said it to you first time. I've enjoyed not just watching your podcast, but listening to your thoughts on the game. It's definitely helped me. Um, yeah, it's helped me a lot when it's come to say like this game. Just sitting. I think I played too many Ewok decks to want to go sometimes, and I probably have got better at sitting. So yeah, Daniel, if you want to make the pod, and if you want to make it all, then
Uh,
please enjoy.
well,
It's fine.
the thing with that affiliation, though, and this is like a big discussion point.
Go on.
So, um, the way I would want it is I would want it in just a full pool.
Yeah. Hmm.
The only discussion with it really is just like what restrictions do you put on it besides making your resources blank,
Yeah.
right? So one of the things I thought about with it is you can say no limited cards can be played, mainly to eliminate like well paid or Owen with it.
Hmm.
The other thing I thought about was you
Go
could
on.
say that the restriction is you can't play cards or like cards cannot enter play from your deck if you play it. So no
Sorry,
Yodi.
explain what you mean. Go on.
Hmm?
Go on. Sorry, carry on. Explain what you mean.
So like you can put card text on the affiliate. So like the affiliation says it has like a full refresh, right? It can provide up to 3 resources if the dial's high enough, and
Hmm.
all of your resources become potatoes in the deck, right?
Yeah.
But you can put an extra line in there that says you like cards may not enter play from your deck. So basically, you can't spark guys into play. You can't play
Okay.
cards that say search your deck for a card and put it into play, which as
You're
of right
talking
now, I
about
think
Yoda
still
sort of thing. Is that what you're talking about? Yoda, you see Yoda.
yes, I know Yoda used to Yoda, right? Like
Yeah.
you just, I think it would only affect Yoda, Spark, and like a couple corner cases, Beezer's event.
Yes,
Molon,
that makes sense. If I ran sorry, it's interrupting. Yeah, so if I ran the Ewoks and played Feast of Honor, where it gets a one discount, you're not stopping that sort of thing, are you?
in
Or,
the
yeah,
current
it's up to
version
you.
of the
It's
card,
up to you.
the current version of the card does, because the current version of the card says no limited cards. But I think I would just swap that for you can't put cards into play from deck because
Yes.
that
Yeah.
solves both Yoda
Hmm.
and Spark at once.
Mm.
And like it does leave the door open for someone to play Feast of Honor or Well Paid or Owen for tempo.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that makes
quite
sense.
similarly, they could play Hollow.
What's the Sith one? Sith Holocron? They could do that
Yeah.
sort of thing, yeah.
So you still leave the door open for that, but I don't know. You can't stop everything, right?
No.
And I do think this is much more valuable for light side than dark side. So if Yoda and Spark get hit with it,
Mhm.
it's fine. But yeah, I mean the thing is like with these tournaments, um, people, I mean I don't know how many people love it, but like the the advertising for it is that it's a condensed card pool, right?
Yes.
And the affiliation I want, the whole point of it is that you would play very wacky decks
Yeah.
that would otherwise never see play because you don't have the money for it.
Yeah. Sorry, there was one suggestion I wanted to make as as well as because if you're using the whole card pool, when you come to the cuts, you've got to run 4 decks. So that way you can't have one monster deck. You've got to run 2 dark side and 2. So if we played, let's say today, we played 4 games today and
Yeah.
yesterday, you would have to run 4 different decks. Only in the decider could you choose. So that way you've got to, like you said, experiment with all different things. You can't just run 2 decks. You've got to run 4 just for the cut. For the obviously the early games, you play
Would
whatever
you
you
make
want.
would you make a rule that you can't share pods between the decks?
No, I think it's more you can't have the same affiliation.
Well,
Or sorry, whichever rule you, however you want to
I
play it, it's
I
more a
kind of
case
like
of
the no
you've got to
share
come up with
pods.
different ones.
Well, because the thing about the affiliation is like, for example, let's say I wanted to play Mono Sith.
Yeah.
I could play my Mono Sith deck. One version runs Tarkin as a 1x, the other version runs Caesar as a 1x.
Yeah. Sorry, that's why I
So,
was thinking of when I said because the first idea I had was running. You had to play mono decks, so you couldn't get into that trap where you just slip Emperor into a one navy. So if there was a way around it, like you said, you
you could
can't.
just
If you
like
say just no overlap, if you say no overlap, then that probably works the same.
yeah, you bring 2 light side decks, only one gets Yoda, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And,
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
and if you bring 2 dark side decks, I mean dark side's a little bit easier, but you wouldn't be
Mm.
able to play both Force Hunters and Mono Sith, right? You'd have to pick one, and then your second deck would be like um, what's called like Mono Navy or something.
Yes. Yeah. Hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if there's a way to implement that during the Swiss rounds too, because not everybody makes the cut.
No, it's true. Like you say, you could just you have to have played it. So if you play, um, you've got to alternate with games. So like you said, and I was partly thinking for the summer having larger pools because, like you, I like to get my games in early. and there are so many people who just don't want to play. So it's almost like unless you're getting just practice games in, so maybe having bigger pools. So you still have a green pod, but then almost just like two other groups, and it's just all play all. If you do get your games in, it doesn't even matter because the top 7 are going to progress, or the top 5 or whatever it is, 6 are going to progress anyway. So if you had the green group had only 3 progress, and then to make up 15, you had 6 in each of the others, just to get people playing more, you know. So
I do like the idea of like top cut. You gotta have 4 decks. It's
yeah,
like
it was Daniel Chimelli, the other UK player. But Daniel, you have thought and love talking about the game so much. Please, you got so hosed in the last game today that yeah, please by all means. And the same with that game. It came down to 2 edge battles. That game yesterday when you defended with more, your last dark side game, and I happened to rebel for hire into Tantive, into Akbar. That was pretty brutal. You know?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's Star Wars. Like that's why we
It
play.
is, yes.
There
But
are a
that
lot.
was brutal. If I could have hand-picked cards, it would have been those. Tantive to then draw another, and to be able to have the force, put 2 on more, and get rid of him with Akbar, plus get rid of your other one who was do 1 damage. That was handpicked. Yeah, that was.
I mean,
So
at some point, I mean, I like it's probably easier for me to talk to Mick. So I can just try to combine the ideas like when I suggested to Mick. I can
please.
say, because I hey, full card pool, add this affiliation,
Yeah.
and modified rules for the cut.
Hmm.
Right. Now the thing
Yeah.
is, so Mick might push back on like full card pool.
Hmm.
So if if he does push back, is there specific pods that you would want in or not in the card pool?
Can I say? Can I run an Ewok deck that is not Spark?
Uh,
If you made it enough that I could play either my Ewok deck or my Hoth speeders, because every time they put either Ewoks or Hoth, they put like that much, but not enough to make a whole deck. Colby could play his TIE fighters, he could get 10 pods in, but I can only choose 4 Ewoks or 6 Hoth, and 4 of them are speeders. So if either of those 2 you can slip in, then
okay.
even
Yeah.
running even running 5. I mean, I used to like the deck where you had 5 Rebel with the affiliation, plus Owen, plus the Luke Hoth, and then the Sub-Zero defense as the neutral. So it'd be 5 and 5. You know, it's
Oh, for speeders.
yes. That what's the neutral one with Sub-Zero defense? That's the one that is brilliant. So, but
I
no,
think I think speeders would definitely like the resource affiliation.
yes, yeah,
They don't.
oh, 100%. My good. I mean, you know yourself. Whenever you're playing anything where you're trying to rush, you don't want to have to play everything, and you've had to play a resource. You just haven't got the cards. It's yeah. No, Daniel, enjoy. You know, I've
I'll pitch it to Mick. I'll see if he goes for it. But I think I could tell him that the big suggestion is 4 decks in the cut.
yes,
I think
yeah,
he'll like that.
yeah. No, I'll be happy to tell
You know,
Darren.
because they're open deck lists, right? So you get to
Yes.
see
Hmm.
exactly which one's which, and then it does create a an interesting dynamic where, let's say, I know you have a
Oh
navy
yeah, you
deck.
could almost do it this way. So when you choose affiliations, you start like this, and nobody knows which one you're about to in the cut. That's what you're talking about? Yeah. So when we get to the cut, you don't see their affiliation until you've both chosen, and then you.
Oh,
Is that
yeah. Okay, so you could say different decks. So no shared cards, and you could
yes?
say shared cards includes affiliations,
Yeah. Very good. Hmm.
right? So if you wanted to go, so I think you could say you can play like you can play naked smuggler affiliation, and you could also play like the new smuggler like money affiliation, or like
Yes.
the
Yeah.
half smuggler,
That's
half
good.
rebel.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
good.
maybe it would be like you have to put your cards face down and then flip, you know, at the same time, so you don't know what the opponent's picking. No, that's cool.
Good. No, no, enjoy. And if he really is against it, and you just have to pick 10, then you know your judgment's a lot better than mine. I would know where to start. That's the other reason
Well,
I
you
went
said,
for the all in.
Ewok speeders, right? Like that's
Either one. If I can get non-spark Ewoks or
what do you
high
like in
speed.
Dark Side?
So yeah, if it was just non-spark Ewoks, that would be great. Because
What's
I've always loved if you just had to take out. I mean, any Ewok deck, if you took out Spark and put Leia, it's still pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I think you could just make a pool where literally every Ewok deck or every Ewok
Yes.
pod makes it, right?
Yeah.
And then just don't put Spark in.
Hmm.
So like, there's a way to build a pool around that that's not that hard.
Yes.
The so what do you care about on Dark Side?
Do you know? I've probably in the times we played, I've long story short, I used to play Star Wars only with my son, and I would always play light side. He would always play dark side. So I had to learn to. What I'd like to play is. Did you see the last Euros where a guy won with an aggro navy where he played Devastator, Chimera, um, the Death Star destroyers, um, the money, the technology terror, and yes, we just played all the aggro navy, and that's how we won. That sort of So yeah, what is it? Devastator, Chimera,
Yeah,
Death
you
Star
run.
destroyers, Nida, Core Tarkin, and then double Tech Terror.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So it's just capital ships dot deck with
That's it.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you need
the Tech Terror shouldn't say capital ships, but it does. So
and it still does. Like I've that was something we meant like for this pool, where I've
yes,
uh, had the opinion for a very long time that the Death Star is perfectly fair if the Chuds don't say capital ship.
yeah, I agree completely. Yeah,
Because right now the Chuds, I think they're just restricted with gladiators, if I remember correctly.
yes, that's it.
But
It was only that
they
one.
still
Yeah,
say capital ship, right?
that's
So
right.
in this pool, um, Josh rigged it so there's no capital ships, no space stations
Mm,
outside of Death Star itself.
yes. Uh-huh.
And yeah, like Death Star saw like no play because they're not good. Like that pod is not as good as people think it is. It's only good because the resources are non-limited if you have um, capital capital ships, right? Once you remove that line of text, they are not.
Yes.
It's not like the pod's terrible, right? You still get
No.
like two tons of blast, you still get a bunch of resources, but it becomes very fair.
Yes. No,
To
I agree. I was what when we played our first practice game. Another thing I've learned from you is you're very good at getting lots of little blast with dark side, where you suddenly you'll just keep one defender, but you'll attack almost 3 times and get unopposed. So suddenly I've got like 2 damage on each, and it's like, what happened there? You did it with the Tech Terrapod. You just
yeah, yeah.
treated them.
Well, like
Yes.
those dudes don't have any defensive icons,
Hmm.
right? So you have to just
Yeah.
shut them out there.
Mm. But as light side, it means you're suddenly looking at, wait a minute, I've got so much damage here. I'm gonna, if I don't get a move on, I'm gonna lose. It's
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean it is risky, right? Like if you overextend on dark side, you run the risk of just getting blown out.
Hmm.
But in general, I think if they're free attacks, right? Like
Yeah. Hmm.
if side's not defending, and you can just get like 3 shots in, you probably should.
Yes.
Just because like you're keeping your right hand for defense. It's not like you're just letting your opponent walk on you.
No.
And then your opponent just seeing the damage might discourage an attack as well, right?
Yes.
So like your opponent might have a turn where they should just go like all the way in,
Hmm.
and then they don't because they think, wait, I already have all this damage. I could just have 2 or 3 objectives blow up next turn, and that's scary. So I'll keep like a guy back that I shouldn't, you
Yes.
know, just to try to block against that.
No, I appreciate that because I that's pretty much how I've played the dark side deck. I've been, well, you saw the one. It's just going in all the time. It's suddenly I cannot hold the force with the dark side deck I'm running. I have to go for 4 objectives, and
Yeah.
it's just and of course promotion on target is just bonkers. It's
Yeah, yeah. Promotion and sauce for like forever.
if Dyer wasn't so poor. In fact, one thing that worked this tournament when I have protect the generator on, it works with the mission.
Mhm.
Because it's the first engagement against a Navy objective. So the mission, of course, is a
Yeah, you defend against it.
yeah. So it's yeah. Daniel, please enjoy making the party. If he says he doesn't like it, and you have to choose 10, then whatever you want, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, I can if I have to actually make like 10 pod deals, I think what I'll do is I can just send you the
Mm-hmm.
pods.
Yeah,
Like
of
rough
course.
drafts and just say, hey, what do you like, what do you not like? You want something in?
No, I appreciate that, but really, your judgment is good. You've thought a lot more about it. So, and also, I felt for you after the Josh game when you were 2 up. Yeah, that was like, come on, man.
Well, I should have had that one. That one was on me. Like I think it was game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Game was over.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just I thought that Sabine had her paint job on her.
Uh-huh.
So I went in and I didn't even throw anything for edge. Because my thought was like, okay, I just have to get the tactics off and then I'm fine. Like I have
Yeah.
one enough. So that's like a thing where it's like if I would have realized she didn't have her paint job, I would have either attacked differently or
Mm-hmm.
just try to win the edge battle. Because that's the other thing. If I just throw cards for edge, I still win.
Yep.
Um,
It's all good. All good. And if he says only 10 pods and you want to put the Crockett in, then go enjoy.
yeah, maybe. All right, cool. I'll shoot it over to Nick and see what he says.
Yeah, it's good. I'll send this to Colby again, and I'll let Mick know it's over. And because obviously nobody's been able to watch, if they want to watch before the result goes up, whatever, you know. So Daniel, I want to say thank you. It's always a pleasure to play you, and I'm very happy to listen to you talk Star Wars anytime. So thank you very much.
Congrats again, Ivan.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Pleasure.
Speak to you later.
Yeah, speak to you soon. Bye.
All right.